Hey guys, Devin here, Lifetime Preparedness. Today I want to talk to you about what you're going to take and what order you're going to take it in a bug out situation. Now, this is going to be more so if you can take it all in one trip. This is the way I would prioritize it. Now, also, if I could take multiple trips, let's say with a vehicle or multiple vehicles, this is the order I would take my supplies to a bug out location. I live on the edge of a city, not a giant city, but a city nonetheless, near a very big military base. So, I want to get out of town if possible. I have a bug out location. Is it set up? Well, not really, but it's outside of town as of right now. So this is the order I'd kind of go with things, my friends. I would, hang on, let me get everything set up here. Perfect. So I made myself a nice little list here. It took me about 30 minutes to figure this out. So the first thing I would take in any sort of emergency bug out, got to get out of town situation is a primary firearm. Your primary rifle, primary handgun, which should be on you at all times anyway. With any accessories you need, magazines, ammo for those primary weapons. Secondary would be your bug out bag. Take your bug out bag secondary. But that brings us to the point of, you gotta know what's in your bug out bag. You gotta minimize to have the essentials inside your bug out bag. If you're gonna have extra socks in your bug out bag, if you're gonna have extra shoes, some people do, make sure they're seasonal, weather appropriate. You want to make sure you have those in your vehicle as well. Depending on, you might want to have a pair of boots and a pair of sneakers with you. If you wear sneakers to work, you might want to have a pair of boots in your truck. If you have, if you wear boots to work, you might want to have a pair of sneakers if you're going to be walking for a long time. But you want to take your bug out bag with you at the same time. So, primary firearm, primary sidearm, accessories, and your bug out bag. Secondary, I would take is my medical bug out bag, guys. It's wonderful. Get a medical bug out bag if you don't have it. Have a bag, even if it's not a real big one, with the essentials for a medical situation in it. Obviously, we should all have our blowout kits. They're great, but if you need a little more, a little more boo-boos, scrapes, band-aids, you might want to have some extra gauze, extra tourniquets, things like that. Bleed stop. You might want to have some ice packs, disposable ice packs. So those are all some of the things you can have in that extra, medical bug out bag. And it doesn't have to be big. It can be something as simple as a basic little first aid kit that will come in handy, and it's something you can grab quick and go, have it in a bag, and you can just take it and go, so you have some extra medical supplies. Now, one thing I forgot to mention was when you're grabbing your stuff, if you are on medication that is essential to have a somewhat healthy life or even to stay alive, make sure you take that medication with you. You're going to need that. You're probably going to have to find some more, but bring it with you. You're going to need that. Even if it's a short term, I got to get out of town. Just in my town, it's getting kind of crazy. Get that. Take it with you. Get out of town. Next thing is going to be any water filtration devices that you have. Now, that can be, bulk if you have a bin full of, or a box or a bag full of, whether it's Sawyer Minis, Life Straws. You may have a bag for your your Berkey filter with some extra filters and pieces and parts and primers. Bring that with you too. You're going to need water, and you don't know if it's going to be clean where you're going to find it. So bring water filtration, and that brings us to food. You're going to want to bring food with you for you. Water, food, any food and water that you have stocked up that you can take. Now, don't put some of these other items and take none of them just so you can fit all your whole stockpile of buckets of rice into your vehicle if you're bugging out by vehicle. Take what you can and what you can fit while not sacrificing on the other side of things. So you're gonna want that, and think of your pets too. Bring food for your pets, treats if you have them. Bring a couple, may help. Water, a way to, having fresh water is going to be important for you and for them to stay hydrated in any sort of event, whether it's a natural disaster, civil conflict, any sort of war, pandemic, anything like that. Next on our list is a change of clothes, guys. Bring a couple outfits with you, socks, especially socks, underwear, shirt, pants, whatever you may need. Bring a couple extra. You're probably going to need it. If you got time, grab a coat or two. You don't know what the weather's going to be like. It could downpour and all your stuff's wet. You may really want a change of clothes at your bug out location to be able to change or to clean the other ones and swap them out. So clothes, footwear, shoes, I know we already talked about that, shoes and boots and all different kinds of footwear you can have. I wouldn't recommend anything open-toed. It's a waste of your time. It's not going to give you any protection. So next would be probably light and power sources. And that, I would also say, fire making capabilities, whether that's matches, lighters, ways to light. You're looking at candles, at the bare minimum candles, and fire starters. They have military grade fire starter out there. You can make your own. I save all my lint from the dryer. Great fire starter. You got flashlights, lanterns, and you're gonna need a way to use them. So you gotta have your batteries or a couple small solar panels to be able to charge rechargeable flashlights, your phone, etc., things like that. If you have any fuel, bring fuel with you. Maybe just be for your vehicle, but you don't want to leave it wherever you're at if you're going to a different location. Next, and this is more of a I want this item, it's going to make things better. Toilet paper, guys. Get some damn toilet paper and bring it with you, because it will make everything so much easier. Nothing's worse than being in the middle of the woods, being like, what do I wipe my ass with now? That was a messy one. What do I wipe my ass with? You don't want to be reaching for this leaf or that leaf and hoping for the best. Just avoid it, especially at the beginning of any sort of situation. You don't want to risk getting poison ivy, poison oak, bugs crawling all over. You just want to be able to wipe your butt and be done with it. So toilet paper, also any sort of feminine hygiene products you may have for whatever members of your family, or if you just have some put back, bring those. Hygiene items, might be something as like wet wipes. Bring those. If you have kids, you're going to need diapers. You're going to need, formula. You're going to need all the things for your kid. You're going to want to bring those no matter what at first. And then after that, it's more, I have time, or I can make multiple trips to get these other important preparations I've made. Any sort of barter items, alcohol, gold, silver, your cash, whatever you have, that is a barter item, whatever you stock for that, bring that with you. That way you have ways to barter. Now, this isn't exactly in order, but bulk medical supplies is very important as well. I'd say these are more important than any barter item. Any sort of bulk medical supplies. If you guys know me, you know I have a lot of gauze, because it doesn't go bad, and I can stack it to the roof. All kinds of gauze. That's going to be another thing I'm gonna bring. I'm gonna have it. Any sort of medical situations, multiple people may be hurt, one person may be hurt, but you don't realize how often you got to change a bandage with, just even a somewhat serious cut on the arm or the leg. You fall and get a good laceration on the leg. It may not even require, stitches. You may just throw a little super glue on it and have to change your bandages, 3-4 times a day. You're going to have fresh water to clean the wound. Need that water filter. Need any sort of water filtration device you have. Gotta clean the wound, and you may not have, soap and alcohol and this and that. So, gauze, all, tape, any sort of bulk medical supplies, medications, over the counter, ibuprofen, acetaminophen, any old prescriptions you may have, allergy medications, calamine lotion, cold and flu medicine, even Vicks, cotton swabs. There's just so many different medical items you can stock that won't go bad for a long, long time, and those you definitely want to bring with you later on. Obviously, prioritize the more important things first, and then go for those. And next, camping supplies. You don't know what the sleeping arrangement's going to be or anything like that. Wherever you're going, you may not have a full roof over your head for a night or two. Now, if you have the room to get there, or the time to make multiple trips, grab your camping supplies, grab your sleeping bags, your tents. I wouldn't really worry about any air mattresses, but I have a couple, but I wouldn't worry about it unless I have days to move stuff. Sleeping pads, those are good because you can just throw them down, roll them back up, and be done with it. Sleeping bags, might even want to grab some pillows because wherever you're going probably doesn't have enough pillows. So grab a pillow or two. It's worth it. Bring some extra blankets, things like that. You're going to get cold, I'm sure. You're going to get wet, I'm sure, which is going to make you cold. So camping equipment. You're also going to want to bring, at that point, if you have the time in the room, you're going to want to bring your secondary firearms, ammunition, tools, things like that. If you have time, for sure, grab a cleaning kit. I keep a base cleaning kit in my bug out bag. You might think that's silly, but I think it's important to have, especially because it weighs all of an ounce, if that, in a Ziploc bag to keep all the components I need to clean a 5.56 rifle and a handgun. So, it's something to think about. Have a little cleaning oil in there. Have a Bic. You guys know what to put in a bug out bag. You do. But yeah, bring your secondary firearms, the ones you are not your primary. Like if you have 2 people in your household, bring your 2 or 3 primary rifles. Bring your handguns. Bring a longer range rifle. Maybe grab a shotgun. But then if you happen to have some other hunting rifles laying around, some 22s, a crossbow, a bow and arrow, whatever floats your boat. Any extra ammunition for those guns that aren't your primary firearms, bring those with you too, because they'll come in handy. You can hunt with any kind of round. You can defend yourself with any kind of round, but if you don't have the capacity at the beginning and you have one trip to make, you may have to leave. If you have more than a few guns, you may have to leave some of them at your original location and not be able to bug out with them. So you need to prioritize what is going to be the best for your situation, what you think you may need, what kind of ammo, how much ammo. But obviously you're going to want to take your primary weapons ammo, whether that be handgun or rifle. I know my handguns are all 9mm. All 9mm, universal. They all take the same shit, so they all go together. But yeah, guys, go ahead and evaluate your preps, because that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm going to be working on. I'm going to go through my bug out bag again this year. That's coming up now. It's springtime. Once I get a little time free from work, I'm going to take a day, go through all my preps, evaluate what I have, what I need, go through my bug out bag, go through my medical bug out bag, evaluate what's in my car. Then I'm going to see what's going to fit in my car on a bug out, what I need, and what I can fit. 2 people and a dog, you can only fit so much stuff. And I don't have a small car, but I got a Jeep. So it's not a big Jeep, but I got a Jeep, and I can only fit a limited number of things with 2 people and a 80-pound dog. So yeah, that's about it, guys. Just food for thought. Like I said, no exact particular order on some of the last things, but just some thoughts and some ideas that I was thinking about and talking to some people about. Keep your head on a swivel, guys, and I'll be talking to you. Thanks for watching.